guys can hear me. Let me check the mic audio. Yes, we're good. GZTV back with another video. In this video, we are going to be talking about tonight's NBA action. I think we had like 10 games. Let me check. Yep, we had 10 games, so we're going to kind of skim through the games. We're not going to talk about them super in depth. I have to make a thumbnail for tomorrow's video for the movie Smile because that movie was awesome. We're going to talk about it. I watched it tonight, and it was actually pretty good, so there's that. Let's start by talking about my Celtics. They played the Pistons, obviously. Not a great team, but Jason Tatum's 38 points helped the Celtics. I mean, we won pretty comfortably against the Pistons by 18. You know, they had a couple of runs, but at the end of the day, it was pretty comfortable. This was our last. Yeah, the Celtics got back their offensive and defensive spark plugs together. They gave Boston the jolt it needed to head into the All-Star break on track to accomplish all its goals this season. Look at the big performance. I mean, I got to give credit to Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich is a fantastic basketball player. I mean, the dude had 28 points off of 33% three-point shooting. Not good games from guys like Jalen Duren and Isaiah Livers. Those are definitely guys that struggled for this team. But they're going to struggle, and they've struggled a lot this season. That's not really a surprising thing at all. So, yeah, moving on to the Boston Celtics. Yeah, 38 points for Jason Tatum off of 60% three-point shooting. Celtics were playing amazing and off the bench. One of the best bench players in the league, Malcolm Brogdon, 25. Give it to him. Perfect replacement for Jaylen Brown in this one. So, yeah, shout out to the Celtics. Obviously not that big of a victory, but we're going to move on to the Spurs and the Hornets, two tank teams pretty much at this point in the year. I mean, the Hornets try to win, but they're a tank team. I don't know why they would try to win. I don't know. LaMelo Ball is a triple-double. The Hornets hand the Spurs their 14th loss in a row. I am telling you guys, the Spurs are the worst team in the NBA by far. It's not even close. Great scoring, passing, man. Yeah, for LaMelo Ball, and he had his best rebounding night of the season, so that's pretty good. Yeah, LaMelo Ball played fantastic. He's still hoops. It doesn't matter what situation this team is in, and that's something you can definitely respect about his game. Yeah, they won by 10, obviously. They send the Spurs into the NBA All-Star break with probably the worst stretch in franchise history. It probably is. Like, let's be honest. I don't think the Spurs have looked worse than this ever. Seriously. But you look at the Spurs, I mean, 14 points, 12 rebounds for Zach Collins off of 40% three-point shooting, 21 for Keldon Johnson, 23 for Malachi Branham, who's up and down the season. He shot 50% from three tonight. They don't have a center. I mean, Jeremy Sohan's the closest they got, and he wasn't playing that well. I mean, Jeremy Sohan just needs to play a little bit better for this team. He needs to be like a 15 to 20 point scorer if they want to be successful at this point, because they already lost a bunch of their pieces. Honestly, a great game from the Hornets, though. 22 points and 10 rebounds for P.J. Washington off of 50% three-point shooting. 12 points, 10 rebounds for Mark Williams. You know, Mark Williams is starting to take over for Mason Plumlee. Mason Plumlee went to a place that is actually winning, and he's having a good season, so maybe that's deserved from him. But 28, 10, and 12 for LaMelo, who shot 33% from three on the night. So, good night there for the Charlotte Hornets. Moving on to Bulls and Pacers, the Bulls just keep on doing it. And we were talking about how good the Lakers are going to be now with the trade, and it's looking like they might be the next reality TV show team besides the Lakers. I don't know what's going on. This team has been struggling all year. Buddy Hield helps the Pacers rally from 24 down to beat the Bulls by 4. They were down by 24 in this game, and the Bulls give up that lead. That is an all too familiar thing to say about the Bulls this season. It's not great. Great three-point shooting for Buddy Hield, and especially in the second half, and he scored very well. So, yeah, they were down 24 after the end of the first, and they were able to win. I mean, guess credit for the Pacers, but I mean, neither of these teams are good. So, yeah, there's that. Zach LaVine, 35 points, 11 rebounds. You get a 25-point performance for Kobe White off the bench. I mean, shout out to him. He shot 75% overall, probably his best game of the season, damn near his career so far. Alex Caruso, guys like Alex Caruso and Andre Drummond is just, it doesn't help that they were running an 8-man rotation. That doesn't help any team. That's not something you really should do. I mean, they have Tony Bradley. Like, get that guy in the damn game. Having 3 subs in an entire basketball game is not good. I don't like it. But Aaron Nesmith had a good game, 21 points. I've talked shit about him a decent amount this year, but he had a good game. 27 points for Buddy Hield off of 60% three-point shooting, 67% total. He had a night. He played really well. Shout out to the Pacers. I don't know if they're going to be able to recover all that much from their woes, but yeah, Cavs, Sixers. I thought it was going to be a good game, and for a decent amount of the game, it really wasn't that good of a game. This was the first of the 2 doubleheaders on TNT or ESPN, whatever. And I mean, I would say that Bulls-Pacers game, besides this one, was the only other game tonight that was good. But Cavs, Sixers, Joel Embiid is 29 points. He helps the 76ers snap the Cavs win streak. The Cavs were looking like, coming into this game, one of the best teams in the NBA. And Philly put an end to that. Great scoring for Joel Embiid. He has hit 10,000 points on his career. Congratulations. I know that doesn't seem like much, but considering all the career injuries that Joel Embiid has gone through, I think this is a pretty decent feat for him. Very rocky second half for the Sixers. They almost gave it up, but they ended up winning by 6 against borderline top 6 to 10 team in the league. So maybe even top 5 close. Maybe not close. Right now, I would say. Like, the KD trade hasn't really settled in. The Lakers haven't settled in, so we'll see. Evan Mobley put up 23 points. You get 27 for Darius Garland. Didn't miss a single 3 the entire night. 33 for Donovan Mitchell after like an 8-point first half. He played very good in the second half. Isaac Okoro struggled. Danny Green, they just picked up Danny Green. He needs to familiarize himself with the lineup, and guys like Raul Nato and Karis LeVert really weren't given much for this team. A lot of their bench players were kind of slacking off, so it is what it is. You look at the Sixers, though, and you get a 29-point, 14-rebound performance for Joel Embiid, 19 points and 12 assists for James Harden, playing the perfect point guard out there for him, facilitating, scoring a decent amount, and there's not a lot of shame in losing to the Sixers because they are a good basketball team, but yeah, there's that. Knicks and Hawks, a terrible game. I don't know. Jalen Brunson scores 28, Julius Randle 25. The Knicks beat the Hawks by 21. This really wasn't a competition, and Jalen Brunson has been on fire. This man has been playing fantastic and has led the Knicks to a 6-win over 500 season. They're having a great season so far. The Hawks, not so much. Hawks are not looking too hot out there. But yeah, 25 points, 11 rebounds for Julius Randle. You get a 28-point performance for Jalen Brunson. He's been playing absolutely incredible. I guess we can talk about the Hawks here. 20 points for DeAndre Hunter. Actually, he's been playing pretty decent. He shot 50% from 3, 60% overall. 19 points and 11 assists for Trae Young. But DeJounte Murray probably had one of his worst games since joining the team. And guys off the bench like Saddiq Bey, their new trade acquisition. Mainly a guy like Saddiq Bey needs to come off this bench and put in some work for this team. I don't know. It just wasn't a great night for the Hawks. Saddiq Bey was supposed to be one of the better trade acquisitions. I think he's a good pickup. It's just he needs to get it together. He needs to realize he's playing on a way better team than he did before. This isn't a good basketball team, but they're not nearly as bad as the Pistons. Heat and Nets, goodness. Brooklyn Bridges, what a game. I've always kind of respected Mikal Bridges as a two-way player, but this is taking that to a new level. He played two-way basketball like he's never done it in his career. Mikal Bridges scores a career-high 45. The Nets beat the Heat by 11. In his third game since arriving in the Kevin Durant trade, Mikal Bridges had an electrifying scoring stretch to rival even the superstar he replaced. This is a KD type of performance. He's really fitting in that role well. I'm really happy for this new look Nets. They're going to be safe here for almost a month here. They got a cushion. KD really helped them get a head start on this season, and now they're actually out here winning games, which I thought they were going to still win games. This is a very solid lineup and has way more depth than that Big Three team will ever have, I think. They added a lot of pieces that are selfless. These guys aren't really star players, so they're going to come on this team and just want to win the game. That's great. That's how trade deadline should be handled. People thought that the Nets lost the trade deadline. You're looking dumb. I know it's only 3 or 4 games since the deadline, but I'm telling you, by the end of the season, you guys aren't going to look very smart saying that. I mean, that's just me. But, looking at the Heat first, 24 points and 13 rebounds for Bam Adebayo. You get a 21-point performance for Gabe Vincent off of 33% three-point shooting. I mean, there's not much the Heat could do. I don't think the Heat played terrible. It's just a matter of fact of the scoring night that Mikal Bridges had for the Nets. I mean, he was really their only performer out there. 45 points off of 67% three-point shooting, and I mean, I'm sure he got a couple of steals in this game. 2 steals and 2 blocks. I mean, yeah, that's like a KD stat line. 45, 5, and 8. Yeah, that's something KD would do. And it's awesome to see a guy like Mikal Bridges, who has been living under in the shadows for so long of guys like Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton. He finally gets his chance here on this team, and he's looking like the number 1 option moving forward. I mean, guys like Cam Thomas and Johnson will be able to contend for that, but Dinwiddie as well. But yeah, Mikal Bridges might be their number 1 option after these last couple of games. He didn't play good the previous game against the Knicks, but yeah, I don't know. They'll just pick and choose their scores as we go, I'm sure. Jazz and Grizzlies, pretty solid game. Wasn't able to watch it because of the whole local Grizzlies weird thing I couldn't do. Don't know why. But Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bane lead the Grizzlies over the Jazz. They win by 6. Jaren Jackson scoring the rock well tonight, rebounding decent, and playing some absolutely fantastic defense for the Grizzlies. Obviously, today, I sound like a broken record if I say the last game before the All-Star break, because there's only 3 games on tomorrow. So, yeah, it's the last game till the All-Star break for a lot of teams. And, I mean, it's going to suck because tomorrow's going to be the last night of I mean, I guess we can talk about the All-Star events and just have some fun and give you guys some content in the meantime. But even then, after Sunday, we're going to be missing like 3 days of basketball. I don't know what I'm going to watch, honestly. Probably won't watch anything. We'll see. But looking here at the Jazz, 28 points and 14 rebounds for Kelly Olynyk. I mean, he's a hidden gem. He's had a couple of good games this year. 10 points and 14 rebounds for Walker Kessler, who shot 50% from the overall. I think this is a game that Lowry didn't play in. Maybe he's trying to rest for the All-Star game. But 20 points for Jordan Clarkson. Let's see here. Guys like Juan Toscano-Anderson off the bench, I mean, who's a new pickup for them, could have played a little better. I mean, he rebounded the ball really well, but I don't know. Yeah, Juan Toscano-Anderson maybe play a little better on the scoring end, or get more opportunities, perhaps. Obviously, this was still a really good game for the Grizzlies. 26 points for Jaren Jackson off of 40% three-point shooting. You get a 20-piece from Ja. You get a 24-piece out of Desmond Bane. It's kind of hard, usually in the NBA, generally, to beat a team that has 3 20-point scorers. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Rockets Thunder, worst game of the night. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. I mean, shout out to the Thunder because they're in the play-in now, but with teams like the Jazz losing and the Blazers losing, did they lose? No, they beat the Lakers. Never mind. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scores 29. He helps the Thunder dominate the Rockets. This is the kind of momentum the Thunder want to take heading into the break for sure. This is definitely the look. I mean, they're in the play-in tournament. I don't think there's any team that can take that away from them tomorrow night either. So, I mean, obviously the Rockets just played absolutely terrible. They played terrible. You know, especially guys like Kenyon Martin and Frank Kaminsky and I don't know. Frank Kaminsky and Kenyon Martin mainly just played like shit. I don't know what else to say. This is not a good team. Very inconsistent lineups, very inconsistent players, very young guys, I guess. But it's about time we say enough is enough for this Rockets team. Like, it's about time we're borderline disbanding this team from the league. Like, come on, man. They are the worst. I said the Spurs are the worst earlier, but no, this is the worst team. The Spurs at least can have some offensive guys out there, but this team, you see clips of them playing offense, and it is ugly. But looking at the Thunder, 29 points off for Shai. He shot 50% overall, so yeah, good game there for the Thunder. Very dominant win. Mavs, Nuggets. Jeff Green helps the Nuggets go into the break with a 9-point win over the Jazz. He's a reserve, and he had his best scoring night of the season. 21st triple-double of the season for Jokic. And yeah, obviously not a lot of The Dallas Mavericks missing some guys, and they've been missing guys for the decent part of the season. And man, Luka's, I mean, he can't be that mad because I think the Mavs are having a good season or so far, but it's not a great season, but it's a good season. It's passable. The man is out here scoring 37 points and they lose by 9. The dude literally would have had a damn near 50 piece if he wanted to win this game. I mean, we're talking Reggie Bullock and Theo Pinson. Like, what are these guys doing? Like, playing 20-plus minutes and barely getting a bucket up between these two. 50 minutes between Theo Pinson and Reggie Bullock. And let's see. 1 for 10 from the field. 1 for 7 from 3 and 3 points. Like, that is awful. That's awful. That's not a good look. But looking at the Nuggets here, 22 points for KPJ. I think KPJ, he's on the Rockets. MPJ, my fault on that. Very good. Premier three-point shooter in this league. I mean, he had 22 points and he shot 50% overall. Jokic had 14 points, 10 assists, 13 rebounds, shot 67% overall. 24 points off the bench for Jeff Green, shooting 40% from 3. That is exactly what this team likes. Good game for the Nuggets. So far, the Celtics, and the Bucks are looking like the 3 best teams in the NBA. We'll see how that changes moving forward, maybe because we're talking about the Lakers next. I don't think the Lakers are going to make it up to the top. I don't think they have that comeback in them. I think they're like 14 games out of it, so it's damn near impossible at this point. It might be possible. If you win out, and even then, I don't even know. We were talking about the Lakers-Pelicans. Pretty disappointing late-night game. I thought this was going to be a little better, but do I want to see the Lakers do that good? I don't want to sound like a hater, but like, I don't know. I think it's time for guys like Jason Tatum to get his first ring. I am a Tatum fan. You guys can see him back there. That sounds biased, but even a guy like Jokic, even a guy like John Morant, like, you know, like even Joel Embiid and James Harden, guys like that deserve rings at this point. Like, come on. I don't know. LeBron James and Anthony Davis get the new look Lakers past the Pelicans. You know, great game for LeBron. This is his first game since becoming the NBA scoring leader, which apparently required a over-week hiatus. I don't know why, but have at it, LeBron. Great scoring and rebounding for Anthony Davis. Decent passing from him as well, and they get it done. They win by 18. This is a new-look team, and I'm happy for them. So, you know, you look at the Pelicans. Brandon Ingram's going to do Brandon Ingram things. He put up 25 points off of 33% three-point shooting. 12 points, 11 rebounds for Jonas Valanciunas, who shot 67% overall. 22 points for 3J McCollum. He shot 50% overall. 14 points and 11 rebounds off the bench for Willie Hernangomez. Actually a solid piece for this team. Like, if you're actually watching the games and stuff. Man, Trey Murphy played terrible. Guys like Trey Murphy, Jose Alvarado, guys like those are guys that need to be held like accountable for their lack of offense. Like Jose Alvarado, he sneaks in a couple of steals, but the dude, like, I guarantee you he has a terrible plus minus. He's got to be. You know what I mean? Like, the dude, he didn't even get a steal or a block, so never mind. The dude got 4 fouls for no reason. Yeah. It's time that the hype dies away and they actually focus on winning basketball games. But looking at the Lakers still played great. I mean, 28 points, 10 rebounds for Anthony Davis, 21 points for LeBron James off of 50% overall shooting. And you get a 21-point performance for D'Lo. He was throwing lobs all over the place. He was looking really good in this one. I mean, he shot 60% from 3. That's going to do it. I'm out. I'm sorry. Lack of outro. But tomorrow we're going to cover the last 3 games before the All-Star break. I got to get into my thumbnail and stuff for the movie I'm reviewing tomorrow, which is Smile.